All right. Is there a legal man downfield or not? Where's my signal, man?
What the hell is he watching?
What are you talking about? All right. With that, we're gonna start. I'm gonna leave that in. Uh, all right. So once again, it's a Wing It Wednesday. Prepping as we can on the fly because we're a couple of fly guys. Uh, and my name is Dave. This is my brother Ray, and we are.
Preachers from the bleachers.
So we sit down and we just have this chat once a week. And if you'd like to listen to it, we're right here on YouTube. You can find us, or you can find us on anchor.fm/preachers from the bleachers, and also on Spotify. Thank you. As always, leave some comments for us. We'll be happy to respond or talk about topics you want to hear about, anything about your teams you want to hear about. We'll talk about it because, we'll talk about anything. So today, I guess we're going to go over some NFL, some stuff going on there. NBA started the playoffs, the finals. And I got a couple things in the NCAA, but we'll throw some stuff out there and see what sticks and have some conversation. So without further ado, let's go to the hot hand and NFL. So what I saw today was that the Steelers and Titans have postponed their game on Sunday because of COVID. So I guess it was too much to hope for that we'd go the full season without having any kind of.
Come on now.
Yeah, I know, man. But they kept bragging. Oh, we've had 5,000 tests and only one positive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, postpone. Like they saying postpone to Monday. So like it's not even
right.
So they don't know when. They still haven't said for sure we're going to postpone this until Monday, or we're going to postpone this until a full bye week or something. I know my fantasy thing is say bye, but we really don't know if it's going to be Monday or not. At this point, I mean, it's already the middle of the week. They got to make a decision probably in the next day or so.
Yeah,
but
I would think by Friday they kind of know what they're going to do.
Well, I know they were still doing meetings anyway. So like in the beginning where you're doing Zoom meetings with your position group or whatever. But it's not like they really hit in the NFL practice.
That's true, but they gotta sort it out and make sure. Hey, well, this guy's positive test is lagging, or he's waited a couple days to show symptoms or anything like that. So, and it was kind of a bunch of guys. One of them was a practice squad guy. There were 4 players and 5 personnel on the Titans. So, you figure the starters are out there getting tackled and tackling everybody, and if somebody's going to catch it, it'd be the guys making more contact. But I guess not. So, some guys that didn't really play a whole lot. One of them, like I said, on the practice squad. So. As outbreaks go, I guess this one's not too bad. Hopefully, it won't delay too much, and I hope they do play Monday. So,
yeah, I kind of like the 2 games on Monday night, especially out here on the West Coast. I catch 1 at 4, 1 at 7. It's nice.
That works out for you, man. But I can't stay up and watch them both, man. Like
you still got 1 though.
I still got 1. That's fine. I had 1 in the first place.
You know what I mean?
But I just hope they play this weekend because I got Juju Smith-Schuster, man. I mean, I need him.
That does hurt.
I wish they didn't play last week because Derrick Henry just killed me in fantasy. So it's all about the fantasy, man. It's whatever. It's all about the fantasy.
Absolutely.
So, the Steelers coaches said they're preparing to play for Monday. So. They're thinking that's when they're going to schedule the game for. So, but the Vikings had also closed their facilities this week because they played the Titans, but they reopened those today. So I guess they tested everybody to make sure everybody was okay, and opened it back.
Back to work. Let's go, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I got him too in another league. So, also, man, in the last week or so. Coaches and teams have been fined for not wearing masks at the game. So I kind of like that NFL is really taking this seriously. They're like, look, we make a lot of money at this. You guys aren't going to mess it up by doing something, whatever. But, I kind of like the, they're showing, hey, we're taking this seriously. I don't care if you don't want to wear a mask. I don't care if you don't think it's medical, whatever, but we're going to fine you. They actually threatened suspensions and loss of draft picks if you're not wearing your masks.
That's
I mean,
too far.
yeah,
That's too far.
that's way too far. But they're not going to do that.
Draft picks is like gold, platinum, and silver all mixed. I mean, that's a lot. If you want to hit them in their pocket, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? If you find the coach one or two times, if that don't work, find the coach and the organization. That way, that, hey, hello, owner, I'm coming after you now.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody will say, okay, they really, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll put my mask on. But draft picks, that'd be harsh.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be hard.
I tell you what, those owners are billionaires, so $100,000 fine is not going to kill them too much. But you find a coach, he's like, yeah, it's not. Is paying $100,000 worth not having a mask on the sideline? Nah, probably not. So I don't want to pay $100,000 for that
if
privilege.
You're John Gruden, you might go ahead and handle that.
That's true. He did get $100 million for 10 years.
Yeah, so, like, you start adding up, that's 100,000 times 16. Yeah, he got it.
That's all right.
He got it.
Still, $100,000 is a lot of money for not putting a piece of cloth across your face.
$10 is a lot of money for some of us. So yes, it's a lot of money.
Amen. Amen. So also saw this week in the NFL. The NFL Players Association president called for all fields to be grass. So they want to make all fields in the NFL grass because he cites that there's a 28% higher risk of non-contact lower extremity injuries on fields that are not grass. So like all these torn ACLs and stuff like that, that's what he's talking about. The ankle injuries, some stuff. I don't know. I like grass anyway. I mean, I'd rather play on grass.
No, the problem with grass is we switched from the first place. It used to be that grass caused the injury because of the cleat, depending on what city you grew in, you play in, what city, it watering and all that other. It took out all of that unnecessary by going to this new surface. This new surface allegedly keeps you from tearing ACLs. Have you stood on it before? I have.
I haven't.
It is awesome. It feels like you feel like you got a little spring in your step because it's just little bitty, teeny, tiny pieces of rubber that looks like pieces of sand, but it's just rubber. Yeah. And man, so I thought you was finna say it caused COVID or it kept.
Oh no.
I was finna say, man, they could steam that out of it. I mean, they could go in there and just spray the field with some disinfectant. Is that because of the material that it is? Yeah. But we can't keep going back and forth. It's like, does eggs cause cancer? Are they good for you? And then they're not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, eat the white meat, but don't eat the pork white meat. Like, I mean, at some point
they're in a sport where there's collisions, like being in a car wreck 50 times a game. So
so maybe we should just play flag football with some Nerf footballs. And then maybe that'll help.
I like a Nerf football, man. I gotta say,
because then we can come back and play. Yeah. Like I could wang that thing like Patrick Mahomes with a Nerf.
Yeah,
football.
So I like grass anyway. So I don't know if grass causes injuries or not. It depends on each field is going to be kept differently. The length of the grass, the kind of grass it is, the depth of the dirt in the grass.
All grass ain't the same though.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying.
All grass and all soil is not the same. If that was the case, then tobacco would grow real good in other places other than the Carolinas. All grass, it's not the same. So this to me equals the playing field. I think we should mandate that everybody get one of these new fields, and I'm not sure who doesn't have one. Maybe the people in Buffalo don't. Like I could see. And while we're talking about fields, why do people keep building stadiums in any sport? Usually it's baseball, and they're not domed. like that is the dumbest thing. You cannot try to predict the weather. They just didn't they tear down they ain't even tore down yet the stadium in Arlington.
Well, they're not going to.
Globe. They're not going to tear it. I thought they're
They're
going to tear it
not.
down and put
No,
like. But
they're going to use it for stuff like XFL and other events and stuff like
I
that.
remember. So they're gonna have 3 stadiums within a half mile. That's
Yes,
just ridiculous. But
yes, it
I
is.
remember, I remember going to the last game and the first game, the last with the last game at the old Texas Rangers baseball park, and
Oh
then
yeah,
I went to the first game at the
Arlington
Globe.
Stadium, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that. Dave, I ain't old enough for no stadiums to be you know what I mean, to be replaced. They
Yeah,
replacing stadiums in 20 years now. That's ridiculous. They should have put a
and
roof
spending a
on that.
billion dollars on them,
They
or
should have put a roof
5
on
billion if
Globe
you're in
Life
LA.
when they first made it. They know doggone well it's
Yes, it should
110
have.
degrees in Texas.
Absolutely.
That was just ridiculous. So like
Yes.
it's killing me. Oh, why I'm on this rant about stadiums. Reliance Stadium is ugly, people. I am so tired of people thinking the new Las Vegas. I ain't got to see the inside yet,
The Death
but
Star.
it looks okay. It's too much. So they gave us the impression that it was going to be glass, like this whole glassy building all the way around it, all on the sides, just like Las Vegas. Like it sits right across the street from a golden, shiny Mandalay Bay. So we thought it was going to have this black, shiny thing to it. And no, it's kind of matte black in some ways, a flat black, and then some places it's shiny. And then at nighttime, it looks a little better at nighttime because it's got a little white out. And then I saw it on TV for the Monday night game. From the top, it just looked like a big grill for Paul Bunyan. I've been waiting on Paul Bunyan to set some shish kebabs down or something. I was like, this thing is kind of ugly. Like it's just not. All the Raider fans, I know, somebody gonna see me tomorrow when they hear this out here in Las Vegas and just hate on me because that thing ugly. I don't care what they say.
But it's still nice inside, and you got
It's
a you
still
got a
nice
you got
inside.
an NFL team in Vegas.
True that, and we about to get an NFL champion in Vegas. Did I say NFL?
Who's coming there?
That was a joke. I
Yeah.
meant the Las Vegas Aces.
Oh, all
We
right.
in the WNBA. About to get our first champion out here,
All
baby. We
right.
finna take it. We gonna take it all the way.
All right. So is the field in Las Vegas there? Is it grass or that it's the new stuff?
The new stuff.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So anyway, I don't know if the science on that is right or not. I have no idea, but that's what the Players Association said. So
Can't keep
we'll
going
we'll
back.
see what they do.
You can't go back and forth. It can't be grass hurts, now grass doesn't hurt. Grass.
Well, I mean, I remember when that stuff was like really new. Like AstroTurf was new and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, for those of you who don't know, I went to Friday Night Lights High School, Permian High School out in Odessa. I was there when the guys in the movie were there. I was a year ahead of them, but they were juniors when I was a senior. But Booby Miles tore up his knees on that stuff, and that
AstroTurf is the worst.
yeah, it was terrible.
It's concrete with carpet laid
Yeah,
down. No, I don't know. You fast for sure. You're fast, but you're faster on it. But
yeah.
that
And
thing was not good.
Booby was the truth on a football field until he tore up his ACL. That he had the size, he had the speed, he had the skills to make it to the NFL.
It's the truth.
Yes, he
All
was.
right. All right, man.
But I don't know if you ever saw Friday Night Lights or read the book
Yeah, I
or
saw some of it, man. I definitely wasn't gonna read the book, but yeah, I saw some. I mean, why
well,
read a book when you can
yeah,
wait for the movie? That's what I
yeah.
always say.
But that's Permian was a football factory, and mostly it was a lot of small white guys. But of all the guys that played there, he's the guy that I thought would have made it to the NFL. We had several players that actually did make it to the NFL. Brett Hagar played for a long time for the Philadelphia Eagles. Stormy Case or Stony Case, there were two brothers that were quarterbacks. One of them played at New Mexico and he was in the NFL as a backup for maybe 5 years or whatever. But Booby Miles was a running back, and he had the skill to get there, and AstroTurf tore up his knees. So
It's so weird to say somebody had the skill or didn't have the skill to get there. I played with a dude that I don't know what he played 12, 13 years in the NFL. I don't mention his name. I'm not that fond of him. Um, all the brothers from the Brotherhood love him. I thought he was average at best. They still saying that he a Hall of Famer, but whatever. Um, it's
Heights Hall
it's
of Famer.
there's a lot of luck involved in
Oh yeah.
so the guy that I'm specifically talking about, he might have been maybe third best player on a high school team. Um, my opinion, fifth. I'm just trying to be fair. Yeah, I mean, like I think the quarterback was better than him. That we was in between quarterbacks. So I'm talking my junior years for all the brothers that would say Ray Lecky was not better than him. Talk about Antonio Anderson. I thought Antonio Anderson was better than him. Marcus Walker was better than him. Nelson Robinson. I know nobody know these names. I'm saying these names for people in the Brotherhood that look at this video and be like, who else was better than him? It's 3 or 4 people on that squad that was better. And if we talking about my junior year, dude, we were bigger. Our offensive line were bigger than the Super Bowl winning or Super Bowl participating Cincinnati Bengals. I only remember it was the Bengals because they were doing the icky shuffle back then.
Yeah.
Right. But we were bigger than them. Like I still, you know what I mean? I hate my football coach because I don't know how we didn't win it. I mean, we were 2-3 deep, probably at every position that you can think of. Like, I mean, as juniors, we had people sitting on the bench that was juniors that could have started somewhere else. I mean, we was just deep. Deep, we had deep side, all of that good stuff. So when I think about this guy who played 12, 13, you know what I mean, borderline Hall of Famer, he only benefited from other people that was on the roster. For example, if you're a rival college, like if Michigan is recruiting you, there's a good chance that Ohio State and or Notre Dame is probably looking at you.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, the middle linebacker for us, Marcus Walker, brother was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs at the time. His name was Derek Walker, right? Nothing great, but he was there. He was a starter.
Yeah.
So obviously, Derek went to Michigan. Michigan was looking at Marcus, and that's how it kind of unfolded. They saw the player that I'm not mentioning. You could see his size. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, not size. I mean, he was 6'4" and 265, and he barely had no body fat, and that's as a junior. So just as a raw talent, oh, no question, he should have went somewhere, right? But he benefited from having guys like his benefit from having Marcus Walker playing middle linebacker. Like he had to be accounted for on every play. So you could say it worked the opposite, but one of these come from NFL pedigree and the other one does not. So I'm gonna say that he benefited from the dude from the NFL pedigree genes, right?
Yeah.
So because Notre Dame was looking at Marcus, because hey, y'all Michigan looking at him, I'm gonna look at him too. Notre Dame saw this player that I'm speaking of. He went to Notre Dame and he played 4 years, not 3. You know what they usually say: if you play 4 years, you might not be as good as they said. Now to be fair, I like to be fair when I'm saying, hey, I don't like this guy, I don't like that guy. I like to tell the whole story. Now, sometimes what they ask you to do, right, is can hinder how good you look. So I know at Notre Dame, the scheme that he played, they didn't always ask him to go get it. He played defensive line. Sometimes he was the guy that just kind of held people up so the linebackers could clean up. So I have to be fair and say, I mean, that he didn't always look like a great pass rusher or a great defensive end because they didn't ask him to do that. And sometimes his job was to just keep people
running.
However, he played again. I can't think of who it was that was next to him. Off of that defensive line, 2 other people were probably better than him. You see what I'm saying? So like when I say better, I don't mean, oh, I'm at Notre Dame better. I mean, they went on to the NFL as well. That was better than him. Then he gets to the NFL and he playing next to a dude who was a borderline Hall of Famer who was dominating at defensive tackle and getting sacks.
Well, it's like playing next to Khalil Mack right now, man.
Correct.
You look much better because they got to double team him.
But what I'm saying to you, The luck matters. When we say, "Oh, this guy looked good," I could have thought. It all depends on who you play with, when you play with, who the coach is. Because if this guy, he could have been just another dude if he was at a different high school.
Yeah.
Just that one opportunity. But he took advantage.
Yeah.
He did well. He played well. I mean, I don't begrudge him. No. I mean, he did what he did as a member of the same high school team. I'm proud of him. My biggest thing with him is with the little money that you made, what you do for the school that helped produce you. Nothing. We ain't been back. I think we've been back to the playoffs once since then, man. But he could have came back, got the school a new weight room. He could have came back. He did nothing. That's fine. That's his prerogative. It's also my prerogative to dislike you for it.
Yeah. Well, I get all that, but talking about Booby Miles specifically, he had the tools. He didn't play with a bunch of other great players in high school, but he was setting records left and right.
I thought y'all were winning championships back then.
We were back then.
How were they? They not great. They won a championship in the great state of Texas. They had to be great.
He didn't win a championship. So we were. I think the last championship we won was my freshman year, and I was still in junior high. And then we played in the state playoffs the next 3 years, but we didn't win a championship. We ran up against that Houston Yates team that was massive. So if you've seen Friday Night Lights, it doesn't do them justice. And then I think we lost to Dallas Carter.
Carter was a beast back then.
They were a beast. So
Carter was a beast back then.
Yeah, but anyway, so Booby Miles had it, man. So not playing on grass just jacked up his career. And they didn't have the medical stuff back then to deal with ACLs like they do now, man. So
they was just on the brink of it, about to. If he'd have tore that knee up, 5 years later, we might have seen him play.
I don't. He was a great guy, but I don't think he was a really smart guy. So I'm not sure how they work that out for guys that play, I guess. Whatever. But anyway, he was really good. So that's all I'm saying. The grass may make a difference. Perhaps. It may not. I don't know how the new fields are.
Once you step on it, you would change your mind. You'd be like, oh no, this is definitely better.
Well, do your feet slide? Do they catch on it? No. I don't know.
Like if you wear cleats with it, you have. It's not the grass. We spent a long time and a very long story about which that really started with grass, but whatever. Yeah. It's not the grass, it's the cleat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if your grass is long or short. If you wear a longer cleat, they get stuck in the grass.
Okay.
You go one way, your knee go the other one. So if you wear the shortest cleat possible, the grass it's not gonna hurt you. It'll give. But if you wear that
it depends on how long the grass is too. What size cleat you need and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
But if you long story short, I told a long story about it's the size of the cleat, not the grass. So but on the new stuff, you can wear a cleat, but you still got to wear that little bitty cleat.
Short
I would probably wear
like
some Jordans if it was up to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can wear golf cleats.
Because those are short. They're real small, right?
But it's almost like a little baseball spike on some of them.
Yeah.
Right in the front of the toe. Yes, I know about my golf shoes. In the front of the toe, it's spiky like track shoes.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I got on NFL. You got anything else?
The Bears are 3-0.
You finally got your quarterback.
The Bears have switched quarterbacks to Nick Foles. Well, y'all can start the show right here.
Yeah.
Like if y'all finna listen to the show, this is where the show begins. The Bears are 3-0, and if I get $50, I'm finna go down here and place my bet that we will be in the NFC Championship game. I know that's hyperbole. I know, but now is the time. I'm not saying they're gonna do it, but now is the time to make that bet. You can't make it when they're 5-2.
Listen, I think that's a good bet right now, man.
Just the NFC Championship.
Foles is a winner. I'm not gonna say he's Hall of Fame or anything like that. But he is a winner.
He is what,
and he is much better than Mitch Trubisky.
Is what an average NFL quarterback looks like. Let's not. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl winner. We can't take that away from him.
Yep.
But he ain't that great. Right? And I don't want this to seem like I'm not happy about having Nick. I'm just saying you couldn't get your job back from Gardner Minshew after you got hurt. You did get hurt, but and maybe this is a bad thing. Maybe I shouldn't say, well, Jacksonville didn't give you your job back. It's Jacksonville. We obviously know that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
So maybe I should bring that up. But there's been several times where he's had opportunities and he couldn't get the job back.
But listen. One of those, I get a little sideways on that sometimes because it's not like, hey, you couldn't beat out Gardner Minshew. It's like you came in, you got injured or whatever, and he's been playing well enough to keep his job. Not that you're not better than him or you might be better than him. We don't know, but what we know is that things are going well with him at the helm, and so we're just going to leave it that way. So I can't say that. I can't say that Foles didn't win his job back from Minshew. What I can say is things were going all right for them, so they stuck with it. They stayed the course. And that's kind of what happened with Dak Prescott too, right? Same kind of thing. Tony Romo got hurt earlier in the season. By the time the playoffs came around,
I'm not
Dak
ready
had done
to
well enough to keep his job.
Let's do it this way.
All right.
If Mahomes get hurt and Nick Foles is his backup and everything's going well, Mahomes is going back in the game. Now that's a tough.
He's an MVP though.
Yes, that's a tough comparison. My point is, come down a level. I mean, we ain't got to do with Russell. If Prescott lost his job to an injury, you going back to Prescott. That's my point is they didn't think a lot of you to begin with, and they still probably a little. Dave, they're not.
You can't compare them to marquee quarterbacks though, because neither one of those guys are marquee quarterbacks.
But who? I just said Prescott.
No, Foles and Minshew. Neither one was really a marquee quarterback.
And if I said let's calm down.
Okay.
I said let's come down from Mahomes.
All right.
And I said if Prescott had lost his job to Nick Foles, they would give it back to Prescott. My point is that's where he is not that. He's not. Coaches don't think whatever it is about him. It's easy when you comparing him to Mitch Trubisky, and you're like, oh no, you the guy.
But they didn't do that for Tony Romo though. When Tony Romo was the quarterback of the Cowboys, he got injured, and they didn't give him back his job when Dak was doing well. So that's kind of the same situation. If you say, hey, this guy came from behind Dak got injured in the first game, we're paying Dak $40 million. We're paying this guy $3 million, and he's playing great. I don't know. Maybe I keep that guy we're paying $3 million.
So apparently that's what
who's playing great. I mean,
apparently that's the decision that Jacksonville made after they signed him for all this money. And then say, you know what? They pretty much said, Dave, you can do the same job as Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
We can do this for less money. That's what they saying, Dave. But again, it was Jacksonville saying it. You know what I mean? I'm with you. It's a better argument with the Tony Romo and Prescott. But this Prescott is better than the Prescott that replaced Tony Romo. So that's a much better argument because the Prescott that took over was not this Prescott. This Dak Prescott is the truth. We got one more game left. Last week, I said he was gonna have, you know what I mean? You said he's not gonna have 300-400 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, two more.
He's been behind. Look. It's a lot of it's about game script too, man. Look at game script.
You didn't predict. You didn't put that in there. I put that in the equation, Dave.
All right.
I put that in the equation.
You're right. I did not put that in the equation. But game script, when your team is behind, and they should not be behind because your defense has been crap.
It's a lot of games.
Then you got to keep throwing.
It's a lot of games, Dave. And I knew who was on this schedule.
Out of necessity, not out of skill level.
But he had the skill to do it,
right.
though.
He has the skill, but I mean, that's not a normal. Hey, we're not going to ask you to throw it 57 times a game.
Dave, would you rather have? Let's play. Would you rather have? Who, other than Mahomes, Wilson, Rodgers, would you take over Prescott? Today. I ain't talking about the whole career. We're just talking about today.
I can't think of all the quarterbacks right now. I might take Kyler Murray.
You would take Kyler Murray.
I said I might. I might take Deshaun Watson. I have to look at it a little bit deeper.
You being disrespectful, Dave.
I'm not.
I mean, like it was a whole lot of people, Dave, just last year in the brotherhood, outside of the brotherhood. A lot of people was like, he not that good. He not that good. He ain't playing with that great offensive line that he had.
They're still pretty damn good.
No, Dave, them back
you still got Zach Martin there, man.
Dave, it's a difference in one All-Pro versus 4 Pro Bowlers. Now you got one. Dave, it's okay to say you're wrong, bro. This dude is balling right now.
Out of necessity.
But he still has the out of necessity.
But it's like that. I mean, if it's not, I can
see Mitch Trubisky. Wait. Mitch Trubisky had it out of necessity, but he still don't have the skill to do it.
I never said Dak was terrible. I never said anything like that. Dak is a good quarterback.
All right.
I'm just saying, no.
But you said, okay, Dak is a good quarterback. You just saying he ain't worth the money, but nobody's worth the money to you, so we gotta take the money out. We ain't talking about the money. We just talking about who better than Prescott right now. It's only about 3 or 4 of them cats
right now. Last year was like 15. This year it's not. It's far.
Not 15 people, but name the 15 people. Last year, Dave.
He was like the 15th or 16th quarterback last year. Yeah.
In what, fantasy?
No, it
couldn't have been in fantasy. He was number 1 because he was 1 yard away from 5,000. So he couldn't have been the 15th best quarterback. But you can't name the other 5, Dave. I'm just going to give you Rodgers, which statistically.
The other 5 what?
5 other quarterbacks other than the top 5 that are obvious.
Oh, okay. You can here name 5, but you can't have the top 5.
No. I'm asking you name the other 5 because you said 15, and I said
last year.
Okay, and I'm asking you name the other 5 obvious other than Lamar Jackson. Let's name the 5 that are obvious last year. There's Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson, Rodgers. I don't know who the 4th guy that was better than him last year. That's where I get stuck.
Look at what's Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 last year.
Was he better than Prescott?
He threw for 5,000 yards. That's what I'm asking.
Putting
all that money on.
His percentage was over 60% too. Jameis's what? He didn't throw interceptions either. So now, I only know 4 people that was better than him last year. I only know 3 that's better than him now.
All right. Okay. Last year he was middle of the pack. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
You don't know how the numbers. You don't know how the numbers or the names. All right. Very good.
So we can table that, and I can look them up a little bit later.
Okay.
All right.
Duly noted. We'll be back next week with this same discussion. 14 quarterbacks that had a better season and played better than Dak Prescott last year.
He was middle of the pack. He was like
yeah. I want to get all the numbers. Get all the numbers together. Get them all together.
Okay.
You ain't got.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'll look them up.
14 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott last year, and now it's probably 2 at the most. You said 4. You said he was 15.
Yeah, he was around 15.
I thought
you just said 18.
There's not 14 quarterbacks last year, this year, better than that. He was 15 in his first year, maybe.
Okay, but he wasn't top 10. However you want to look at it, he wasn't top 10.
We got to change the numbers again. Very good. That's why I said very good.
I said he was middle of the pack. That's what I said.
Middle 15. Middle 13 is not middle of the pack. That's top 3rd. You know numbers more than I do.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get to you're not gonna get to 9, so I'll lower it for you just to help you. I will help. You're not gonna find 9 quarterbacks statistically last year better than that.
We'll see.
It's gonna be a short look, Dave.
It's not just 5 like you're talking. He was not the 6th best quarterback. There's no way. He was not.
Okay, Dave. Okay.
You're saying, he was 6th best. I'm saying, no, he's not.
Minimum last year, but we'll see.
No.
We'll see that number. We'll see that. Come on. Next.
Yeah, we will see. Next. I got your next right here. LeBron. Okay, so let's go to NBA. So LeBron is playing against his old team, the Heat, tonight, game 1 of the NBA Finals. So I just want to know, can both teams lose? I would like to see that. Because I hate both of them. Yeah, you're right. Well, there's like 4 teams in the NBA I hate, and those are
Hate,
2 of them.
hating on him like his name is Prescott or something. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's not LeBron personally I hate. I don't like the Lakers.
Can't hate.
I,
You can't
I
hate on LeBron personally.
no, I can't. You can't. I agree with you. So, but don't like the Lakers. Don't like the Heat. The other ones like the Rockets and Spurs. Those are my 4 teams I hate the most. But
It's a Maverick, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh well, yeah. You supposed to hate him. I ain't gonna never. I'm not gonna never like the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. So I mean, and I hate the Spurs because Ginobili was the king flopper and all the universe, and the referees let him get away with it. And I think I've always hated the Rockets. I hate them even more now that Harden is there. He's a great shooter, great player, but he gets away with way too much crap. Anyway, but I digress. Anyway, the NBA Finals are starting tonight. So you've had the Heat all along. Do you think the Heat can take the Lakers?
I'm not sure if I said Heat over the Lakers. I know I picked Lakers versus the Heat.
Yeah.
No, brother. The Heat can't do it. I mean,
so they're tough. They're just not tough enough to beat the Lakers. Because you've been saying all this time they're tough. They're tough. They're hard.
I'm gonna tell you who they remind me a lot of. They remind me of the 2011 Mavericks. The sum is greater than the individual parts.
Yeah, I can see that.
But this is on Jimmy Butler. You know I love Jimmy Butler. I love his tough. The only way Miami could win is he got to lead with some points too. Right now,
Bam has been scoring too,
right,
man. I didn't expect that.
Agreed. I believe everybody else from Miami will do what Miami is supposed to do. The only way Miami got a shot. I love Jimmy Butler's leadership, giving people confidence to take a shot. Don't worry about it, you know what I mean? And him filling in wherever they need. That ain't gonna work against the Lakers. He gonna have to get way more buckets. He need to average 28 in this series minimum. He need to average 28 and close to 8 rebounds and probably 5-6 assists. They need him to be superstar all 4th quarters, not just in the 3rd quarter. And it has nothing to do with just Jimmy. Like everything about Miami, I like, but LeBron chasing ghosts.
I saw something the other day asking, hey, well, if he wins in this finals here, does that really mean that he's the GOAT now? And I'm like, dude, 3 out of 9. No, the answer is no. That'll make him 4 out of 10.
He's gotta almost at some point bring that to even to get to be the GOAT.
Yeah.
But the discussion of the GOAT is ridiculous. You like who you like. I mean, we could ask somebody who 80 years old and he gonna still tell you about Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. Like that's the GOAT is the GOAT of your era. And we could discuss it all day long. You can, you know what I mean? You can get an 8-year-old and a 38-year-old and a 58-year-old, and they're gonna all have different who the GOAT is. But when I say LeBron chasing ghosts, when it comes down to it, he's gonna take over. He's gonna everything that I think Jimmy need to do, I already know LeBron gonna do it. That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy will.
If he do it, then we go in Game 7 and it's a buzzer beater. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. If Jimmy do what I believe Jimmy need to do and can do, it's 7 games and all of them gonna be within 6 points and 2 or 3 shots at the end of every game. So I'm looking at this first game of 2. Lo and behold, if the Lakers get up 2-0, not 3-0, it's over. That right, they can't afford to go down 2 games to nothing. And then somebody who are not necessarily chasing ghosts, but if you want to be the greatest, Anthony Davis, he got to come up big too. He can't have those off nights that he had against Denver. Right?
Anthony Davis ain't never going to be the greatest. I mean, he plays center, man. I mean, there's like 10 guys he'd have to pass at center.
He plays power forward. And we already, I mean.
Okay, Tim Duncan.
Exactly. I was just about to go there. He plays power forward. Well, I even discussed on a couple weeks ago on the podcast talking about how he was going to sign with the Lakers no matter what because they let him play power forward instead of center. they went and got 2 centers to make sure he have to play center the least amount of time. If you don't have to play, it's okay. We got you, Anthony. They did everything they could to cater to him so he could not play center. And I said greatest. What I really meant is to be considered one of the greats. He's not in that conversation. He's not a person that you say, oh, he's one of the greatest of all time. He
is a great player, though. I give it.
He's one of the greatest of this time. But if he gets this ring, then he could be in the conversation of one of the greatest. Like if the greatest list is 100, if it's 50 or whatever that list is, he can now be considered on it. So he's not chasing ghosts. He's just trying to start a legacy of championships. That's a lot to overcome. Do they play big? If Anthony Davis and LeBron play big, they can't overcome it. There's nothing Miami could do.
Well,
if both of them cats average 28, and AD getting 12 rebounds and 4 assists, and he only take 4 threes a game, and he hit 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. You know how I feel about the 3-point, but he got to dominate the paint. He got to force the Lakers have to force them to play big. They got to put them in a position to make them move Bam to the 4 and bring in Myers Leonard, and that ain't good for nobody. Right.
I want to see how well Bam will probably defend Davis, won't he? What do you think?
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Who else?
That worries me because I think that'll put a lot of fouls on Bam pretty quick because, Davis will get the star calls. Bam is not a star, though he's pretty good. So I'm seeing lots of foul trouble for Bam Adebayo. I think that's probably going to happen. But going back to what you were saying,
I'm gonna go because I'm with you on how the stars get preferential treatment. I ain't gonna pretend like they don't. But I think that this whole year, just this year in itself, Bam has said I'm here too. I mean, we saw that clean block,
but he won't. He still won't get those calls. He
won't. You said foul trouble. I said
well, right. That's what
what I'm getting at is that he has developed himself this year as a person who is worthy of getting some. It's not like he gonna get treated. If they put Leonard Miles in, what's that name is? Miles Lemonade.
He's got 6 fouls. Miles does.
The second he walk in the game, they're gonna blow. When he walk on the court, they're gonna blow the whistle.
I just crossed the line, man.
That's what I'm saying. Bam ain't getting them calls. Yeah. When you see your reputation always precedes you. And I'm saying Bam didn't have this coming into the season, but when you see a man leap that high over the rim, blocking shots cleanly, that's in a referee's mind too, saying, well, maybe he didn't foul him. You see what I'm saying? He's not Anthony Davis. He's not getting those kind of calls, but he's going to get a little more respect than if he had not turned out to be an all-star.
I don't disagree with you there, but it's still Anthony Davis, and I still think there's going to be at least 3 of those games where he probably spends a few more minutes on the bench because of the fouls than he would typically do. So we'll see. But I think they're going to call those fouls, and they're going, he's got 2 in the first quarter. You got to sit down for a little while. We don't want you to pick up your 3rd before halftime. I think
would you sit him for 2? I'm probably not gonna sit you at 2 because
I'd probably sit him at 3. Yeah,
I'm gonna sit him at 3 because he ain't no good.
Depending on how early you got that 2. If it's in the first 5 minutes, maybe
there is no point. You ain't no good to me on the bench, even with 2 fouls.
Well, that's true. But if I foul you out, you're not there for the second half.
I lose the game either way. So I'm gonna put you in the game, right? But honestly, I think this another person who kind of like. When I start talking about legacy and wanting to be great, Dwight Howard got to play too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say David Caruso.
Dwight Howard got to play, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I look at the Lakers. When I look at the Lakers roster, sometimes I'd be like, damn, man, y'all got 3 number 1 picks on here. Somebody better win something. Yeah. I know 2 of them kind of old, but one of the old ones is LeBron. But Dwight Howard has done everything he said he would do. I'm gonna come in here, shut my mouth, not gonna complain about I'm not playing on my touches. I'm a rebound and play defense. Listen, somehow if I was coaching today, I would use Dwight Howard as an example on how you make the best of what you got. Because you can play defense and rebound. Them offensive rebounds and putbacks, they still count as 2 points. You get a rebound and 2 points off of them on the offensive glass. But
Yeah.
if Dwight, I'm starting Dwight Howard.
But you know what we were talking about a few minutes ago with the defensive line, and you got this all-star next to you that makes you look better, but that's exactly what he's in right now. He's got Anthony Davis playing there. They're not paying as much attention to Dwight Howard. So Dwight Howard gets the easy putbacks and rebounds and block shots, and
But in the
it's
same
a great situation.
But in the same vein, JaVale McGee don't look as good as Dwight Howard.
Well, but he's not as good as Dwight Howard.
Exactly. That's what my point was. That's exactly my point about
Yeah.
But your skill still matters though.
Yeah.
JaVale does look better than he
does
normally look than but he still don't look nearly as good as Dwight Howard. And let's be honest, why haven't the coaches started Dwight Howard sooner? Because they probably was unsure about how Dwight was gonna act mentally. But if Dwight Howard gives you 8 to 12, if Dwight Howard averages 10 points, his game is over. If they start Dwight Howard at center and Bam goes out there to guard AD, who's going to guard Dwight? And when I say who's going to guard Dwight, I don't mean, hey, let's throw the ball down to Dwight. I'm saying, hey, man, shoot that shot. Who down there is going to out-rebound Dwight now if Bam ain't down there?
I was looking at probably a couple weeks ago, just like NBA all-time rebounders, and he's like, he's top 10?
Top 10.
Like he's up there. I was like, oh my God. So good on you, man. I mean, the guy can board. He can rebound, man. I mean, he can board.
But if I don't even know who starts in Miami, I'm trying to think of who it's gonna be. Jimmy Butler got his hands full with LeBron.
You got your boy Tyler.
He can't rebound with Dwight.
No. All you talking about just rebounding.
Who's going to rebound with Dwight if Anthony Davis is not standing in the paint and Bam Adebayo has to go out there to guard him?
You know what you do? You tell one guy you better be the best guy ever at boxing out. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you get the ball. I don't care if you pass the ball or shoot the ball. What you do is you stay between Dwight Howard and the basket. That's all you do.
Still tell me, Dave.
I don't know the roster well enough.
I can't think of the fifth guy. That's the problem. I got Jimmy. I got Bam. I got Tyler. I got Duncan Robinson. I can't even tell you who the fifth guy is. That's how are they gonna start Iguodala? They don't start Iguodala, man. I don't know who they even start. Whoever that fifth guy is.
They got Jay Crowder. He's pretty good. He's solid.
Jay Crowder is the guy. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. So Jay Crowder is gonna try to. So that's what they'll do. They're gonna put Jay Crowder when Davis is on the perimeter. They will let Jay Crowder take him. When he's in the paint, they'll let Bam take him. But that'll work out because Crowder is feisty. He ain't big enough.
Tough. He is tough and strong. He's very strong.
And that tough word is hard to avoid, ain't it?
Yeah. He was tough here when he was a Maverick.
He was tough everywhere. Boston, he was tough. I mean, like he is. You know what I mean? Like when people say, I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Jay Crowder. I want to be somewhere I might possibly been able to get to. Like somebody that play with some skill, but I play with more of this than I do anything else, man. Like. I'm just happy that I figured out who the fifth, or you figured out who the fifth player was. But I can see a path for Miami.
I Googled that.
I just see it. Whatever, it works.
Yeah.
I Google on my job sometimes. They be asking me questions I can't find it. Be like, I wonder if Google will tell me. But
what does ibuprofen do?
Hey, I have to tell people all the time. I'm not a doctor or pharmacist. I can't answer that question. I can answer it like. I can Google and tell you, even though if I know the answer, I just tell them I'm Googling. So y'all ain't gonna sue me and put me in jail for giving somebody some bad advice about some medicine. Nah, not me. Nope.
They can use Google just like you can, man.
Man, people call us to do whatever they want, Dave. They call us to say, "Can you call the doctor?"
No. What? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Why do you need an intermediary for that?
Yeah, I like being employed, so we just call it a damn doctor.
Right. But so who you got, man? You got Heat. You obviously got Lakers.
I'm taking
the Lakers. I think Heat win 2.
I want to take the Lakers in 3, but
You think it'd be a sweep? Really?
That's my favorite thing to say. Lakers in 3. I used to say that all the time when it was Kobe and Shaq. Lakers in 3. Lakers in 6, bro. I'm hoping for 7, to be honest with you.
So you think Heat take 2 games?
And and I'm be honest, I'm really conflicted. I'm not sure if I really want the Lakers to win it.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean,
I hate
you
both
want them
teams,
both to lose. That
but I tell you what, I hate the Heat less than I hate the Lakers, and the guys that I hated the Heat because of are not there anymore. So I'm probably becoming okay with the Heat, and I feel like the Heat got away with some stuff in 2006 that they should not have gotten away with, and the Mavericks should have won that series. And I think there was, being a Mavericks fan, I think there was some very definite tampering with the officiating in that series. So that's one of the big reasons I hate the Heat. But the guys that I hated the Heat for are gone. So
Lonzo Mourning still up in the office, dog. I seen him. You know what I mean, when they was doing the Eastern Conference Finals trophy presentation, they gave a shot. Zoe still worked for the organization. He had his mask. He was sitting up there.
Mourning?
Yeah, I just
I like Zoe Mourning.
I thought the people you hated was on the team that played against the Mavericks. He was one of them. That's why I brought that
Dwayne
up.
Dwayne Wade is one of them.
Oh, Zoe was one of them. That's why I brought that up.
Yeah, but I didn't hate Zoe Mourning. I always liked Zoe Mourning.
So just say you hate Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
and Dwayne Wade is the Miami Heat. No matter what happened,
that's true.
He gonna always be the Heat.
And I thought I think he got those Kobe and Michael rules. He got away with a lot of stuff he shouldn't have got away with. And he's a flopper. He's another one of those great players that did a lot more drama than.
Why you don't love my boy Kobe? Because Kobe never flopped.
No, he didn't. I give him it. I respect Kobe. I respect Kobe a lot. Don't get me wrong. I respect Kobe a lot. But he also got a lot of foul calls. Like I remember one time he shot like 27 free throws against the Maverick in one game. Like 27 free throws in one game. You got to be kidding me.
You remember all the stuff that happened to your team. Yeah. I get you. I feel you.
Yeah, everybody does, right? I mean, that's their reference for,
The one other reason why I feel like if you LeBron, when you chasing ghosts, like you see the bigger picture, right? It ain't just about this game, right? He knows, four victories is better than 3 championships. This is my 10th time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a 40% win percentage. You know what I mean? Like that's not horrible. There are other people who played in the finals a lot that didn't, maybe not so great either, right? But the other thing LeBron knows is I do play in the West. Clippers they ain't coming back happy. They coming back with some motivation. Guess what? Clay, Steph, they coming back healthy. They ain't coming back to just give you the Western Conference, right? This is your opportunity. I don't care who you are.
To make some
if you didn't make your championship this year, you squandered a great opportunity.
Yep.
And if you in the West, you really squandered a great opportunity because the West is only getting deeper and stronger.
It's always a tougher division.
We talking about Golden State returning with dudes that been sitting out chilling. Steph and Clay probably needed the rest.
And got a top 5 draft pick.
I was going there next. So now, like, let's just assume, in my opinion, Draymond Green is slipping, right? He ain't the same. He ain't the Draymond of 5 years ago. Nobody's the same 5 years ago. But
I'm as good as I was 5 years. What are you talking about?
I take that back, Dave. But Steph and Clay, they ain't slipping yet. I don't see the slippage. I see the slippage in Draymond. I saw it last year before this season. I saw a little.
Maybe he needs that great player alongside of him to make him look better.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're making that a theme for the night.
I'm talking about you on the same wavelength. He gonna look much better when them 2 cats come back with, as you say, a top 2 pick.
And don't they have who's the point guard?
Andrew Wiggins will be the 5th option.
Andrew Wiggins,
the 5th option. Hello, if you ain't winning it this year, bro, you in trouble. we're in trouble. Now we gotta say, hey, Lakers, listen, Lakers win. If the Lakers win this year, somebody else gonna come to that team that we might not be expecting to come to this team. Chris Paul. Chris Paul might be headed back to the Clippers as well.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, like the rumor is that Kawhi didn't want Rivers to go because they always say if the coach leave and the star player signed off. So in this case, they said Kawhi did not. This is the rumors going out there that Kawhi didn't sign off on Rivers to go, but he darn sure signing on for Ty Lue. And the reason they're saying he's signing on for Ty Lue is because Ty Lue is still friends with a lot of players and a lot of players who are supposed to be. So
how does that work? I mean, how long do you have to be the best player on a team? Because he's been there 1 year. You still get that respect? You've been there 1 year. You're not really ingrained. Okay, I get it with LeBron being in Cleveland for so long, or those guys even being in Miami for 3 years or 5 years.
It works however the organization wanted to work. Between you and I, hell no, Kawhi wouldn't get no say so.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, you've been here 1 year, Cat, and you are great. Don't get me wrong.
You've been here 1 year and you ain't really produced. Like now I'm looking at you side eye. Like my opinion has not gone a full 360. But when I think about Kawhi, I'm like, hey man, I ain't never really felt what everybody else felt about Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George is a Robin. He ain't a Batman. He's a really good Robin.
Yeah.
But he ain't a Batman. He sucked at being Robin. But Batman didn't look good either. Yeah. So we talking about who playing around you. That's the real theme of the show. Who play around you to make you look better than what maybe you are, or who playing around you that maybe help you elevate your skills or make your skills actually come out that you do have, plus Paul George. So maybe Paul didn't look as good because Kawhi didn't look as good. But if you play 1 year with me, man, maybe there's a little bit inside me that's saying maybe San Antonio, maybe there's more to that situation than I realized. Because they did trade you away when all they had to do was fire a doctor. Like you could have just fired the doctor and kept Kawhi. They say, well, they value the doctor more than they value Kawhi. So it's something else there to it. I don't know what it is. But now that we watched you flop the way you did in the playoff, no, I ain't giving you no say so. I ain't giving you say so, Dave.
I agree. I'm not giving him the say so. You're not the face of the franchise. I mean, honestly, right now the Clippers have no face of the franchise.
It would be Ballmer.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer. You got to say so, Steve. You got to say so, buddy.
You got a lot.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know about the stuff with San Antonio though, because he did go to Toronto and he was what people expected him to be. So I mean, was it the coaching? Was
all the people, all the experts are dead right on this one. And it's not hard to see. He's not a big talker. He's not going to be the guy that says, "Hey man, let's go." He's not going to get in your face. He do his talking on the court. Yeah. That's it. So we now know, watching this series, watching the last Clipper series, that sometimes the leader somebody on that team needed to be talking, and it didn't need to be Beverly. Somebody other than Patrick Beverly need to say, "We got this." You know what I mean? We got it. You know what I mean? To bring people together. He ain't that guy, right? Obviously, in Toronto, it was Cal. It was Cal.
Dude needs to evolve and maybe become a little bit of that guy. Because I mean, that's happened a lot. You know, this is my frame of reference, but I'm going to go back and say, I know there's some players at Duke that when they were at Duke, they came in, they're introverted people. They're not used to chattering a lot, whatever. But you get into the program and Coach K teaches you to talk and to communicate and all this other stuff. And they become greater talkers and leaders on the floor. And for whatever reason, that never happened with Kawhi in college or NBA or what. He didn't have to do any of that stuff, but he does need to be a more vocal leader on the court.
Absolutely. And he is talking. He talking on commercials. To me, I ain't never seen that brother do a commercial. So to see him on commercials, I'm like, okay, Kawhi.
What commercial did you see him on? I don't know if I've seen it or not.
He's done I can't even remember the commercial, but the whole thing is how big his hands is. Like he's helping this dude with his computer, and he's standing up. The dude is down. Kawhi reached down to help him with his computer, and the computer is like this big in his hand. And he was like, "Man, it's a tiny computer." He gives that fake Kawhi laugh, and then the dude reaches up and he goes, "It's not tiny. It's your hands, Kawhi." You know what I mean? Then it goes back and forth. But he talking, so like. Like when I saw that commercial, I'm thinking, well, Kawhi is actually on commercials and actually he ain't just shooting the ball and some narrator is talking. No, he actually talking. So he evolving, Dave. He just ain't evolved on the court with his words yet.
Well, that's where it needs to be.
That's where that's where it need to be. Bottom line is, man, this is your time to win, LeBron.
Yeah.
Because next year is going to get
tougher.
rough.
So can't wait till next year.
Just to back up on that again, Tyronn Lue. I can't imagine Chris Paul going back to the Clippers. I can't imagine Chris Paul playing for the Lakers. Like,
where's he gonna go?
Why does he? Well, he does have to leave now that Billy Donovan is there. I'm not. I'm not breaking in a new coach. Y'all done traded me to Oklahoma City. I told y'all, they said Chris Paul had to convince them that, no, I'm not finna just sit. I'm not going to sit it out. If I'm here, I'm a ball. I'm going to be the normal Chris Paul. He had to convince them of that.
Yeah.
Right? But why I got to break in another coach, bro? like, no, man. But I mean, let's see where everybody shake out, man. We didn't touch bases on this, but looks like Rivers might be headed to the 76ers.
Yeah, that was next on my list.
We don't know where all the other coaches are going to shake out. Somebody that know Chris Paul or know somebody that Chris Paul could be in any situation. You know where I'd like to see him go? Just so it'd be even tougher. Chris
Brooklyn.
Paul? No.
Oh, where?
Yeah, this is a Ray rumor right here. Let's break a rumor right here.
He's starting it right here.
Chris Paul to the Bucks, baby. You like that fit? I know.
I do actually.
If we take Giannis off the ball,
yeah, I like that.
That's a good fit. Yeah. Now, how they gonna make that money work? Because Chris Paul's making like 40 something. I don't know. They got to kill the whole roster.
You got no water boys.
You got to bring in Chris Paul. First, got to trade for him.
The kid they can't pay the kids to wipe up the sweat around the free throw line.
Ain't nobody get coach. You just gave up half your salary, right? All the assistants gonna be. You got to bring in Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul and Giannis, and then you got to piece it in with some shooters. It ain't like it ain't been done before. They just did this with LeBron last year. Before Anthony Davis got there, the Lakers literally have just did this. I'm basically saying they got to do what the Lakers did. LeBron, no playoffs, missed it. We got Anthony Davis, and then we just rest of y'all are just shooters, right? Yeah. And we just brought it. So it ain't like it ain't been done. The Lakers have already showed them how to do it. However, Anthony Davis is not making 40. That's $40 million is a lot. Yes, man, I like Chris Paul's agent. Man, that's $40 million after 35. Man,
yeah. That's good. I would love to see him in Milwaukee, and you know me. I hope Giannis stays in Milwaukee. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I hope he does.
Chris Paul will make you stay.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. He will.
You know how many and I didn't see this until I saw this with LeBron and AD before the pandemic hit. How many easy buckets somebody who can really pass? Like when you pass really well, that's 6 more points, 6 easier points. Yes. You might not get more points, but 6 easy points is better than, he worked hard for all his points when he was down in New Orleans. But when you get 6 easy buckets like that, that works out for you. It's less toll on you throughout the course of a season when you getting 6 easy points every game. Instead of, it's I know I'm scoring 30, but it felt like I only scored 22, 22 for a point. So Chris Paul could do the same thing for Giannis.
I'd like to see that. If they can work out the money, I think that'd be cool. But that might be a pipe dream. We shall see.
Sam Presti cold though, Dave. He cold. I don't know. He don't know what he gonna do this season. That's why Billy Donovan is with the Bulls.
You need a
But
really good accountant.
he got 5 picks, Dave. He's sitting on a stock of picks, not just 5 for this year. If he need to, he can trade.
He went to the Danny Ainge School of General Management.
The Danny got lucky though, like with some of the way. First of all, they didn't have. This man is rich. First of all, Boston got way more capital, like cash. Like I mean, they're in Boston. Just I'm wearing a Celtic green. Like he in Oklahoma City trying to make deals. Like nah, it's a different. You know what I mean? Like you pick up the phone now, but when he first started, people was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
You know what that dude was.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard getting somebody to Oklahoma City, man.
It's hard. Do you have to Dave, ain't nobody came willingly yet. And then when you wanted to go, he said, I got you. Like the man is killing it out there, dude.
I'll be like, if I'm one of those top 5 free agents and they call me in Oklahoma City, I'm like, yeah, when you guys move back to Seattle, I'll be there.
I remember, I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I remember draft night in the NFL the year that Deion Sanders came out. And they asked him what would happen if he got drafted. He said, "Ooh, I'm just so glad I didn't have to go to Detroit. I would have asked for so much money, they would have had to put me on layaway." That is Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
If they call, I'm asking for so much money. Yeah. Oh, all right, right on. Next.
All right, that's all I got. Oh well, I just want to say I want to get this NBA Finals over because, like I said, I don't care about either one of these teams winning or not. Just so we can get to the NBA Winter League. So it's not Summer League anymore. NBA Winter League.
Did they say when Winter League gonna be? Is it January, February?
I have no idea. They're not going to do one. I'm sure. Like they were talking about doing the combines, just by Zoom meeting and stuff like that, just interviews and stuff like. So I doubt they're really going to do one.
It would have to be December, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, because they're expecting to start, I think, in January.
The draft
right?
is November, so Winter League would have to be December.
That's usually like a couple weeks after the draft, like a week or two at the max, right? So when's the draft? Is usually like June 21st.
This draft is November 16th.
Yeah, but usually the draft is around
Thanksgiving, turkey, and report to Winter League.
I like it. With the apple pie and pumpkin pie still in your stomach.
November 26th, make them all report to Winter League. Let's play 5 games. We ain't got to go that full big schedule just to get you, get a feel for you, see what kind of shape you in, see who could do what. Your boy's a free agent too, speaking of Summer League.
My boy is. Who are you talking about?
Now, you know your boy. He was lighting it up at Summer League. He played for the 70s.
Oh, Furkan?
Furkan. I ain't want to say it. That was too close to something else. Furkan, whatever.
Furkan, oh, come on to Dallas, baby. Come on. Furkan Korkmaz.
People can play. People like, who are they talking about? Like, y'all just have to watch the game, man, and know that cat can stroke it and just sitting in the end of the bench, rotting away. But that dude can stroke.
And
but that's
like
what I'm talking about.
6'7" too. I mean, he's got some size.
That's what I'm talking about.
Handles.
People like that. If you got Chris Paul to the Bucks, that dude would come. You see what I'm saying? The dude can stroke, so he could very well be on any team that gives him the most, either the most opportunity to win a championship or who want to give him the most money, because I'm sure he's ready to get paid too.
I'm going to get me a Korkmaz jersey, man. I'm going to go online tonight and look. So Furkan Korkmaz, we watched him score 40 in a summer league game, and it was effortless.
I know y'all.
It was just like,
I know they thinking, oh, it was summer league. Sometimes you can see a dude shoot it and just know this dude. Like Dave, I'm gonna say it. People will probably think I'm crazy. That shot is Splash Brothers worthy.
Yeah,
it's that good. That stroke is legit.
He was handling the ball and he was passing and stuff too. It wasn't like he was ball hogging or anything. He was running the point.
That dude can stroke. I have no idea why Philly didn't play him. As bad as y'all need to shoot.
Don't know. I love that guy.
I know he's a free agent, but there's no way he could still be on Philly. But I don't care what squad he's on. When you can stroke like that, you need to play. I don't care if you get some Steve Kerr Bulls minutes where they just put you in for a few minutes and knock down a couple threes and go back to the bed. That dude can stroke that rock.
Yeah. You hear that, Mark Cuban? I know you're watching. I would like to see Furkan Korkmaz, please. Just like a few years ago, I was telling you I would like to see Seth Curry, and he's doing all right too. So, Mark, take a look into Furkan.
Somebody got to give us the job.
Yep.
Tired of doing
we're doing the scouting. Yeah.
All the scouting for people, man. They don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got on NBA. So I was just a couple things on NCAA. I saw that Notre Dame had 18 positive tests on COVID on Monday, and they practiced again today. So they said it had something to do with a pregame meal, and I guess guys were sitting too close together or whatever, a pregame meal, but whatever. They had 18 positive tests. So I don't know if that's going to change their games or not. They haven't said they're canceling anything or
5 people on the squad, bro. What 18 players?
I don't know. They said 18.
Are they 18 third stringers? Man, y'all stay in your dorm. Like,
yeah.
we ain't got,
I don't know who they are.
Right.
But NCAA basketball, I thought you'd be interested in this one. Did you hear about Calipari and the Louisville coach talking about, hey, we're going to play a home and home series, and Cal's saying,
I heard about it too.
Yeah,
Cal's. I agree with Cal. I'm Kentucky and you're not, so I don't give a damn.
But they're still a big program. I mean, they're not Kentucky big, but they're still big. I think what they ought to do.
The people of Kentucky will tell you that Louisville is not Kentucky. It's like a Longhorn A&M thing. They don't matter how great you're gonna be at Louisville, people are still gonna ride with the Wildcats. That's just how it is. You're going to have some fans. This was told to me by a dude who was born and raised in Louisville. He was saying, hey, man, he said, it's all about Kentucky. He said Louisville got some serious hardcore fans. He said, but half the city of Louisville is still UK.
Well, I don't disagree with that. But the thing is that it's a revenue thing. So
for Louisville, not for Kentucky.
It's probably not as much for Kentucky, but Louisville's like why would I come see you? Okay, you're going to come here when we can't have any fans, so we don't get the benefit of any of that revenue. So when we go there, you're going to get all the revenue from that game, so we get nothing out of playing you. Mm-hmm. So I get it. So why not just split the revenue from both games?
Nah, I ain't even listen to Chris Mack's response because it's irrelevant. Because we're the Kentucky Wildcats and you're not.
I don't believe in that high-handedness.
You're not Duke. I mean, this is how sports work. You're not Duke. If this was Kentucky and Duke talking, then we could do business. But no, we don't have to. But
it's not like Louisville's a D2 school, man. I mean, they have won a championship in the last 10 years.
They ain't a blue blood. This ain't Kansas, bro. This ain't UCLA. You don't have to, though, Dave. That's what I'm saying. This is about the business of basketball. This has nothing to do with basketball itself, like on the court, right? It's the reason why people won't play Appalachian State, because you might lose. There's no so I'm not gonna lose. But you have to. That's how it happens.
No.
That's how it happens, Dave.
When they win 5 championships, then you can worry about that. But they're not going to do that.
It starts with a little bit of trickle, Dave. First, you get a 12-year-old.
It would take 100 years to do that, man. In Kentucky,
Dave.
You just said yourself, we're Kentucky.
It might take 150, but we're not going to start the trickle either. Just shut it off.
Just do the right thing. Say, okay.
Do the right thing. What is that? What is that? We still trying to get white folk do the right thing and love black people. Bah! No, that's not cool.
Yeah.
What is the right thing? Go
next. So the SEC set their conference play dates to begin for basketball. So December 29th for men and December 31st for women. So that's good to see. I haven't seen any ACC or Big 12 or any of that kind of stuff yet when they're going to start. Have you seen any of that?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Nope. All I know is the SEC starts December 29th.
Shockingly that it was the SEC They
Yes.
came out but they I guess they do have Kentucky and Auburn and Tennessee now. So now they really concerned about basketball.
Well, they always did have Kentucky, didn't they? Kentucky was always in the SEC, weren't they?
Yes, but Kentucky used to be the only basketball school, right? And then Tennessee every now and again, but now you have
Florida
Kentucky,
every now and then.
Florida every now and then. But right now you have Kentucky, Auburn, and Tennessee are all legitimate top 25 teams. So now I guess they worry. Like if you said the ACC set their schedule, I'd have been like, of course they did. Like it's a
I
basketball school.
I don't know if they have yet. I haven't heard. That's the first time I've actually heard somebody said, "Okay, we're set to play on these dates." But I know they're supposed to be practicing starting in late November, but I don't know when they're going to start playing. Okay, so that's all I got for college too. So you want to do all about the Benjamins?
Oh man, it's that time.
It's that
I
time.
think I forgot about all about the oh we're doing all about the Benjamin soup edition, right?
Soup edition. Now,
Soup/stew for these purposes. If it's liquidy and got some stuff in it, it's soup or stew, whatever it is. You can go
oh,
first. You all what you got?
okay. So I like some stews, but I didn't consider the stews in the soup category
All
because
right.
the stews are a little bit thicker. And I had somebody today at work looked up, the difference between a stew and a soup. And a
Uh, I
soup,
already, I already told you this. What is it?
well, I think the soup has to be the ingredients have to be fully submerged in some sort of broth or liquid.
The difference between soup and stew is when you put the meat in.
That's not what we saw today on Google.
Yeah,
So,
I saw it on Food Network. I'm gonna go with
okay.
the power of that woman.
Oh
Uh,
well. Hey man,
that
Google
stuff.
knows all. Forget the
That,
Food Network. Google knows everything.
no. Pioneer woman knows all. That
Uh,
lady be making some delicious treats.
Whatever. I like some stew, but I did not consider it
Man,
in the soup category.
I don't even know what I mean, I I I was trying to Google when I just kind of ran up on it and saw somebody on Food Network discussing the difference is like it's like when I say when you put the meat in, whether it's has been cooked and then you add it, as
Yeah,
opposed to putting it in raw. That's the difference between
and
soup and
letting it
stew.
cook. According to your Food Network person.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going with them because they Food Network.
Who is we? You.
Yeah, so we.
I'm going with what they said because it
I'm,
made sense to me.
I'm we.
All
Proceed
right.
on.
Here we go. On my $1 bill, I got bean soup at Mexican restaurants. You ever get that? They give you that, bring that bean soup, like charro beans and stuff. That's pretty good, man. I like that.
I ain't
Kind
even
of like,
think that's soup. That's just beans.
and well, they call it bean soup.
Ah,
I
gross.
agree. I agree. It's just beans, but they call it bean soup, and it is served in a broth,
It,
and the
it,
beans are submerged
yeah,
in the
it's a stew. Go ahead.
so beans. So it's good stuff. On my $5 bill, I'm putting the Jewish penicillin, as it's known, chicken noodle soup. You heard
Mm.
that before?
No, I didn't know. You know,
Maybe matzo ball soup they call
Jewish
Jewish. Like
penicillin.
Google Jewish penicillin. Like your Jewish
I'm
friends will tell you.
hoping that's a good thing to say.
No,
I
yeah,
don't
it is. No, I mean it's like when you have a cold, your mother brings you that
got
soup
you.
and
Well,
it
couldn't that
cool.
be? They call it Jewish penicillin, but it could have been, Indian penicillin as well.
It could have been,
All
but it's
right,
just plain chicken noodle soup.
all
And
right.
I may have that the Jewish penicillin thing mixed up with matzo ball soup, but I think they still consider it
But if
chicken
you
noodle.
come to my house, I'm gonna have so much chicken in it, it's gonna eat like stew.
All right. So um so the next one I went on my $10 bill, I went with an Olive Garden soup,
Mmm.
Zuppa Toscana, which
Mm.
has like sausage in it and
Potato.
yeah, sausage and potato is really good. So and they got another couple there, like the pasta e fagioli, which is like a pasta and like sausage. Love that stuff too.
It's on
But
my list. It's
I
on
did.
my list.
All
Don't give
right,
it.
there you go. So on my $20 bill, I put broccoli cheese soup. You ever had that? Oh man, I love me some broccoli cheese soup.
Yeah,
So
that's how we started this whole.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So on my $50 bill, I chose another restaurant and said Outback Steakhouse, their baked potato soup. They
Baked
got
potatoes is good.
it is really good. I don't know if you ever
I don't
had it
know.
at
I don't
Outback.
know. I don't know if Outback has a good one though. Go ahead.
Yeah, they do. And then on my $100 bill, I have this at a couple different places. Outback is one. Uh, Outback is really good. What's the other place on the border? A chicken tortilla soup
I knew you was gonna put that on the list. How is that like? Go ahead.
with some crispy shavings of tortilla
Tortilla
chips on
chips.
top of it. It's really good. Look at your face. Look at the face you're making. It's like chicken noodle soup with a little Mexican spice in it.
Exactly.
So
Chicken noodle soup with some chips and Mexican
some,
spice.
some
Yeah,
spices. It's
chicken
damn
noodle soup.
good.
Like you love chicken noodle soup, Dave. I mean, that's your favorite soup.
It's not chicken noodle. It tastes completely different than chicken noodle soup, but chicken tortilla soup's on my $100 bill.
All
And
right.
if you get it at Outback, you ask for like a little side of rice and put some of the rice in it. Oh my God, it's so
Well, now you
good.
got to add stuff to it on
You don't
yourself.
have to, but you can. Like some people put,
So now
crushed up crackers on top of their
it's
stuff.
chicken and rice soup now.
It could, you can alter it, whatever.
On my $1 bill, I got broccoli cheddar from Panera.
All right.
So this how we even got on this. Man, I had never had broccoli cheddar soup, and
Mm.
I would have thought might be good because it's cheddar, but it was so good. I was like, man, we got to do it all about the Benjamin soup
Yeah.
stew edition. On number two, on my my $5 bill, I got that Olive Garden pasta fagioli. Oh my gosh! When they say win with the cheese, I don't.
You're like, there ain't no more cheese in here. Go get another one.
Go get another block, brother. I usually eat the soup and some bread and take my dinner home. That's generally how I do
So
that.
it's cheese soup, is what you're saying.
Yeah, let's call it cheesy pasta for sure. I like it thick, like stew.
Right.
On my what's the next $20 bill? I got that clam chowder, New England. Let's get this straight right now. Let's get this straight. There is only one clam chowder. That red stuff they be trying to give you in New York, keep it. That's not clam chowder. That's red fishy soup. Clam chowder, $20. No, what's next? Was it 50?
50.
You sure? 1,
1,
10.
5, 10. Did you miss
I
your
can't count.
$5?
I might have missed. I made 5-0. Yeah. So anyway, next is beef stew. You can thin it out, Dave, and put less vegetables and make it soupy if you want to, but it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just a classic. It's usually hearty and it just, I don't know why they call it beef stew. I've never actually had a real thick beef stew, like in the terms of beef stew,
Yeah.
but it's comforting like chicken noodle soup, but
Yeah.
better
I
because
agree.
it's beef.
I like
Um,
a vegetable
we
beef
get
as well.
we get controversial right here because number two on my $50 bill, I went
I
with
know what
chili.
it's going to be. I knew it. I knew it.
It's chili. I don't know. Listen, I've looked it up many times. Nobody seems to know if it's stew or chili, or as you say, chili is just chili. It isn't a category by itself.
That's correct.
Since it's versatile enough to just be by itself, we could put it in either one. And in this case, it's at my $50 bill. And number one, gumbo. Just for the versatility of it. You can have
Is that a soup? If you
it
say
is
yes, I believe you. I don't know. I haven't
it
eaten up there.
is a soup. It
All
is a
right.
soup. But especially if you go and get it at Papa Do's.
Yeah.
When you get it at Papa Do's, it's for sure a soup. If
Because
you make it at somebody's house,
yeah.
no, even when I make it thick, it's still not, it's never thick. But the versatility of gumbo makes gumbo the $100 bill. I mean, you can make it just chicken, you can make it just
Shrimp.
beef, chicken and beef. You can put everything, and his mama in the kitchen sinking it. That's how usually good folks from Louisiana made it. I had never had gumbo at all, and we went to a party of some people from Beaumont, Texas, real close to Louisiana. They do a lot of fishing out there. Ooh, but it turned me on, boy. Just turned me on. I mean, turned me on like Holly Berry and a cat suit. It was cold, bro. It was cold. I had it was delicious. So
Yeah.
gumbo is on my $100 bill because of the versatility.
See, now I was in the car with my boy Scott today, and my boy Scott is from New Orleans, as you know, and we were talking about this soup issue because I knew I had to talk about it tonight. And he loves him some gumbo and that kind of things, and he did not mention gumbo as a soup. So I don't know if him being from New Orleans, if he considers gumbo a soup. But
Gumbo, it got, I mean,
I feel you, man. It
it
has
could
the
be controversial,
consistency.
but it's very unsuit like when you got a whole crab leg and you gotta pull it to it.
Crack
But
it open.
It's got liquid and it's got some veggies in it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's a soup.
All right.
I mean, it's less controversial than chili.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, all right, moving on to you suck, man. What you got for you suck today?
But you suck. I got Chick-fil-A.
What?
Yes, Chick-fil-A. You suck. Let me tell you
You
why.
were praising them
I
today.
don't even like Chick-fil-A. Everybody that knows me knows that Chick-fil-A has the best customer service of all time in any industry. But Dutch Brothers is coming for you
Who?
because they're Dutch. But don't worry about it. If you don't know who Dutch Brothers is, don't worry about it. They do the same thing, but they are way more. If you could believe this, they are really super happy. Like, like where they get all these cheerleaders from? Just hi, how can I take your? I mean, just Dutch Brothers coming for you, Chick-fil-A, but y'all still number one in customer service. I have never liked your A-cup chicken breast sandwich. But that mac and cheese you got, Thanksgiving good. And you suck because it took you a long time to deliver something that I could eat. Y'all could have came out with this when y'all opened y'all first store. This mac and cheese is so good, make you want to smack your mama and your grandmama. You
Grandmama
suck.
too?
Yeah, slap grandmama and wake great grandmama up and smack her on the back too. Man, that mac and cheese is good. How dare y'all just not allow me to have this mac and cheese from the first store that ever opened. Chick-fil-A, you suck.
Wow. Wow. That's a Chick-fil-A hater right there. Wow.
Mac and cheese lover though.
I got something, I got something for a you suck that's kind of odd, man. I got a you suck take back is what I got tonight.
You don't suck?
Yeah, I take back my you suck. Partially, I take back my you suck because I'm always belly aching about the folks on the trail when I'm riding the bicycle. So, they're always like in the way, and just it's 10 feet wide. You got plenty of space. Stay to your side. Let us pass. If there's five of y'all walking, two to a side is fine. Don't take up the whole daggum thing where I might hit you or one of your kids or any of that. But I take it back for a certain subset of people that have been on the trail lately. Because I tell you what, I live in an area where there's a lot of Indian people.
A lot of engineers. I was gonna say engineers, but
No,
yeah,
they're Indian. They're from India or
yeah.
Pakistan or wherever they're from. But I tell you what, there's been a lot of like, what?
That didn't sound good.
No,
You should just
I mean,
India or Pakistan, wherever they.
Well, they might be from one or the other.
For people who might hear this show and don't know that Dave never has mean harm to nobody. He really meant that nicely. But I mean, I heard myself when you said that, Dave. That's what happened right there.
I know I've had lots of Indian friends and Pakistani friends. There's been a bunch of guys last summer were playing ball here at the apartment complex, and like every one of those guys was Indian or Pakistani. And I asked the guy, I said, "Well, are you guys Indians? Are you Pakistani? Where are you guys from?" "Oh, well, some a little of this, a little of that." We're so I mean, they might be from India or Pakistan. This area is generally there's a lot of folks around here from that area. Gotcha. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But when I've been out on the trail lately, like several times, I have seen the cutest little girls like doing pigtails, and one of them's riding like a big wheel, and one of them you could tell had just learned to walk, and she's kind of chasing her mom, down the path, doing that little stumbling thing, and her mom's like recording her walking down the path, and with all the trail and the trees and stuff in the background. It's just so cute, man. So, and I had to miss a couple.
They're allowed to get in the way.
You're right. So I was like, I couldn't help myself but smile or laugh when I went around them because it was so cute, and they weren't in the way, and I was going real slow, and one of them was like riding in one of those little plastic cars where you got, you pedal your feet under there like the Flintstones and whatever else, and anyway, I've seen several of them lately, and they're really cute with their pigtails and all that. So I take it back. So, that's an enjoyable trip when I'm riding because it's a nice area to ride in, and that just kind of makes it better. You see those cute little girls, and that's something to smile about, and it's kind of cool. So I think I should have been a girl dad, man, like Kobe, but didn't happen. But I think I would have been a pretty cool girl dad. But they're just really cute, and you just want to squeeze them.
I mean, I mean, Vanessa's single now, so
Yeah, you're right. Nessa.
too soon.
Yeah. No, that it's not too soon to just kind of
Yeah,
strike up a friendship. Say, hey, you know what,
yeah,
how you
yeah.
doing? You guys,
And she is
that's all.
gorgeous too. Yeah.
Maybe if it works out that way, whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe she
Uh,
looked for an older man.
yeah, maybe. How old was Kobe? 30,
41.
41. So I'm not that much old. I'm 9 years older than him.
All right.
And she's already financially set, so she, she doesn't. She's not looking for a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
She's not going to get one. She's looking at me. She's looking at me. They ain't happening.
She might get a Splenda daddy if she
finds a Splenda, a sweet and low daddy, a generic sweetener,
sweet and downloaded.
Yeah. All right, moving on. What you got for Ray's rumination?
For Ray's rumination, you're gonna mess me up. I'm laughing. I just want to be serious for a minute right there. I just want to give a shout out to Mark Cuban. Always been one of my favorite owners, but he went out there and helped Delonte West, who was homeless and broke and dealing with bipolar. Hey man, Delonte West is not Dirk Nowitzki. He's not. He's not Michael Finley even. He's not somebody who was played for the Mavericks for 5 years. He was there maybe a year, a 2 season maybe 3 if you count the D League squad. But to go hear about it and say, hey, this man in my city, homeless and go get in your own car and go get this man. That's a lot, man. That's a dude that the money is important, but he's showing you that people important. And Mark ain't always been perfect. He with the whole sexual assault stuff that might have been going on in his office or was going on, or not assault, but just
harassment,
sexual harassment. Thank you, sir. The dude that he was trying to help in that case was black. Not many rich white men are standing up for black men. So he called himself trying to help that dude, and it blew up in his face horribly. But even though he didn't bring that up, he brought it up to say that's what I was trying to do, but it's still my fault. Mark is just good people, dude. He took full responsibility for that. And that he should have, but he ain't have to take no responsibility at all for Delonte West. But he did play for my squad. You are in my city, homeless, to get in your car and go get him, reunite him, and now help pay for or is paying for it all to help him get treatment in a mental facility or drug rehab or whatever it might be. That just says a lot, man. We need more people. I don't care what your race is, what your financial income background is, what it is you do in life. We need more Mark Cuban people in the world. That's it. That's all I got for Ray's Rumination.
All right, I like that. Ray's always been Mark has always been a great owner to me. I know there's a lot of people that hate Mark Cuban because he was very outspoken and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's always been a good guy, and I think he's tried to look out for his folks and anybody he could. So good on you, Mark. All right, for Dave's dialogue. So this is not a you suck, but I'm saying I'm moving soon, and moving sucks. So I'm moving in probably the first week of December, and man, my apartment is not so big. My place is not so big. I don't own so much stuff that I can't pack all this stuff up in inside a week for myself. So, but it'd take by a week. I mean, okay, when I get home at 5:30, work till about 9:30 at night, packing for about a week, and then maybe on Saturday go out and do my garage. It'd probably take 4 or 5 hours at least, just to kind of make sure all the boxes are organized and all that kind of stuff. But it's time consuming. So the hard part of that is finding the place to live. So you got to go look at places. You got to go take a tour. You got to go, hey, is the price right? You got to, hey, ask lots of questions. That's the part that is really time consuming. That in itself takes so much more time than doing the packing. So like I said, I'm not worried about packing this stuff up. I can get this done and no problem, no time at all. So, but this is where having a partner helps out with a lot of stuff. So this is what sucks about being my age and not having a wife or a girlfriend to help out with that kind of stuff. When I was 19, mom would help me look.
Advertising.
Yeah. When I was 19, mom would be like, "Hey, there's some places over here, there's some places over there. I looked up this, I looked up." Thanks, mom. I ain't asking mom to do
I'm
that when I'm 50
I'm
years
gonna
old.
send it. I'm gonna send this video to Tiffany Lee and let her know
Oh
you need some
yeah.
help packing.
Yeah, right on. She looks sturdy. She can lift.
Yeah,
She's very muscular, so she
very
can
muscular.
help me move some boxes. I ain't
And
even worried about that. I think, all in all, when I get packed up, I prepare so well that the move itself will only take probably 4 hours. 4 hours from going to get the truck to putting everything in the truck to sticking it all in the house or in the garage. The unpacking will probably take 2 or 3 weeks because I'll do it really slowly. But man, just taking the time and especially with what's been going on at work, all the hours I've been working and stuff like that. I'm working every Saturday now for 5 or 6 hours, and so being able to get that stuff done, man, it's just it stinks. Moving stinks. That's all I'm saying. Moving sucks. It stinks. It's a chore, and much less the packing than the actually finding a place to live. So.
mm, all
So
right.
for all of you out there who are moving soon or have been moving or move frequently, I know you understand my pain. And I used to move like every year, like once a year, but I've been here for 4 years and it was good. You helped me move in here, I believe, and then fell asleep on the floor.
It was a good sleep too.
I know you've been working that night.
I
You
was
like bounced the night before and just
Yeah, I was hurting bad too. I was like, man, I gotta
yeah.
go help my brother though. Like I
So
was hurting. I remember
so
that night very vividly. I couldn't remember if it was a hamstring and a back, but something
something
was.
with your ankle. I thought your foot or something.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was throbbing and huge. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
yeah.
But we need to
So anyway.
coordinate. We need to coordinate that date for December. You moving like the first of this?
Probably, yeah, my move out date here is probably like December 9th. That's when I moved in. So a few years ago, December 9th. So,
I try
but
to.
honestly, it shouldn't, I mean, it shouldn't take me that long. I've got these boxes from work that we come to us with our cylinders. We throw like 100 of those away a week. And they're like sturdy double wall boxes. They stack really
Mm,
well. I will just pack those up. They'll fit on my dolly, my 4-wheel dolly or my 2-wheel dolly. And just move them 4 or 5 at a time. Won't
just
even
put
be a
it. Yeah,
problem.
just drop them in the back of the truck and keep it
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the move will be easy itself. Just the issue is just taking the time to find some place.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right then. Well, and that's the show. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe and hit like. And if you don't like it, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit like anyway. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. But really, we just appreciate you listening to us talk about our life and sports and our life through sports on the net, on the internet radio or your Bluetooth speakers. We don't do it to be attention seekers. We just two brothers talking about sports, better known to you as
preachers from the bleachers.
peace. The game on. I gotta go.
Peace.
Six
Oh, whoa.
fifteen.
Oh, 6:15 your time.
Yeah, the game
You
came on at 6 o'clock.